Lawig is a collaboration between myself, Peter Fantinalgo, and we were actually inspired by a book of Dr. Nava, who also works like us. We share the same advocacy of wanting to uplift Visayan art, Visayan culture, Visayan literature. So that's how this idea actually came about. For this exhibition, we were discussing with Peter one time when we were in Thailand for an art event. So we were discussing what is it about us that somehow there is unspoken marginalization between people from Iloilo and people from Bacolod. So we probed into the differences.
Years before this, I was thinking doing a sculptural works na environmental, or that's to deal with organic, right? That's to deal with things na hindi siya mainstream. So I stumbled upon this material na cornstarch to make a clay.
I got inspired by a headless saint in one of the old houses in Negros Occidental. So from that time on, most of the figures I do are headless. That explains why most of my figures are headless. They're like this group of sculptures now is showing that they're like moving, that there is something like an impetus for them to move forward to somewhere else. The other thing, the laborers, the work on the laborers are, if you can see, mga ribs sila. That one is inspired by in the 1980s, there was a feature yung batang si Joel, and he was super thin. I don't know, maybe that something hit me hard seeing that little boy. So maybe I associate poverty, struggling, and hard life with that image.
I want to challenge that idea also, because for me, I should not be stuck. I should not limit myself on creating just because of this material that cannot be lost or can. There's a lot of reason why we want stability and we want longevity in art. Some of that may fall on because we want to sell this work and we want the collector or the buyer to resell it or to last. But that kind of boundary now is kind of gone because there's a lot of artists who deals with time-based works already. I went to college sa LCC sa Bacolod kasi that the only school na nag-offer ng fine arts before sa time ko when I was in college. I took up advertising, basically not painting but to support myself. It's a practical choice for me. I can't help myself to do these things more personal and more not that commercial. I decided to do sculptures that is more not commercial, but the way I think it's more on the socio-political aspect of the society that I can express myself so we can go directly to the people.
It took me actually a while before I jumped into finally being a full-time artist. Before I just painted and did it as a hobby. But a few years ago, that thing that hindi ka masaya sa ginagawa mo. So there should be something that you should be doing. I finally leapt into the art world and became an artist. And I started with painting, but 3 years ago, when I went to Europe, I got inspired with a sculpture of Gunther stealing, and that was it. I started doing sculptures.